Okay, so again, for understanding today's lab, looking at this, what's going on, if you're looking at tracking one trait, if you're just tracking one trait on one chromosome, let's say just the blonde hair, then the chances that the gamete would contain the blonde hair allele, or the gene for blonde hair, is 50% either way. If independent assortment, if it goes one way or it goes the other way. Okay, it's 50% that gamete's going to have the information for blonde hair. Looking at crossing over, again, if I'm only talking about one trait, blonde hair, then again, 50% of the gametes have blonde hair. So when you're only tracking one trait and that, then there's a 50% chance that the gamete's going to get it, and there's a 50% chance that the gamete will not. So basically, it's like flipping a coin. And so it's 50-50, just like if I were to ask you what are the chances of having a baby boy or having a baby girl, most people are aware that it's a 50-50 chance, and that's absolutely true. And so because of that, I've designed our lab today that you're going to be doing to be one where you can see how just this mixing up actually produces a lot of variation in the population. So you are being asked to produce gametes. You're going to produce an egg from the mom and a sperm cell from the dad. So mom has 7 sets of chromosomes. So I know my picture's got more than 7, but I just had to cut and paste from our textbook. So 1 from mom, remember it's already replicated itself, so it's sister chromatids, but here would be the chromosome number 1 from mom, the number 1 from dad, number 2 from mom, number 2 from dad. Okay, because mom's diploid, and so she is going to go ahead and from her diploid somatic cell or body cell is going to then produce a gamete called an egg. So I'm giving you the genotype of the parents, and the genotype just means the genetic type or the letter combination. So chromosome 1 in our activity, chromosome number 1, is going to code for the body of your baby that you're going to have. And mom's genotype is that she's got a dominant allele and she's got a recessive. This language might sound really familiar to you from high school. So she's got the dominant form. So mom, if this is mom, then one of these has a big B on it and the other one has a small b on it. Okay, and on her second chromosome, chromosome number 2, is going to code for the baby's eyes. And so, again, mom's genotype is a capital E and a smaller case e. Chromosome number 3 is going to code for another trait, 4, a different trait, 5, 6, and then 7, because mom is female, she contains 2 X chromosomes. So, through meiosis, these are the homologous pairs. And keep in mind that what happens is these homologous pairs get separated, and either you will give the baby the big B, or you're going to give the baby the little b. And it's a 50-50 chance. So take a coin, and heads will be the capital letters, tails will be the lowercase letters. And you're going to see, flip the coin and see, does the baby get a big B? Or, sorry, not the baby. Does mom's gamete get the big B? Does mom's gamete get the little b? If it comes up heads, then put a big B in this box here, or in your box under mom's egg. Put a big B, indicating that that's what the baby got, or the egg got. If you flip the coin and you get a look and you get tails, write a lowercase b. Then flip again to figure out the e's. Did the gamete get a capital E? Did the gamete get a lowercase e? Again, 50-50 chance of the way that this is going to go. Same with the H's. Put your information into your table so that you're keeping track of these letters or chromosomes that are now inside mom's egg. Then do the same thing again for dad, because now you need to make a sperm cell. If we were in class together, you would only be responsible for one of these gametes, and I would have paired you up with someone in the class who would have then been your partner and made the other gamete. But now you've got to do it all by yourself. So, flip the coin again and figure out dad's. What's dad's sperm cell going to contain? Again, 50% chance that it's going to be a capital B, 50% chance it's going to be a lowercase b. Flip the coin. Mark down what that letter is for dad's sperm cell. Do it for E, do it for H, do it for L, N, T. Oh, and this should be a Y. This is a typo right here. So I kind of cut and pasted my slide and I forgot to fix this one here. Dad should be an X and a Y, not two X's. So X heads, Y if he flips, if it comes up tails. Okay? Then take the letter combination from, or the letters from mom's egg, fuse them, fuse this gamete with this gamete. Remember, these are all inside one cell. Okay, and so now the baby is back, or the zygote is going to be back to diploid. Gets one from mom, one from dad, restores itself back to a diploid state, and the offspring has two letter B's, and in my case, a capital and a lowercase. And I'm going to do that for all of those letters. Then go into the module, and in the module there's a genotype to phenotype conversion table. And so you will see what those letter combinations actually mean in regards to the physical expression, physical pheno. Okay, so the physical expression is what we call your phenotype. So when you say to me, oh, I've got brown hair, you're describing to me your phenotype. I don't know what your letter combination is, but I can see your physical features. So you're taking the genetic information and decoding it to see what are the baby's physical features. Then, once you see what your baby's going to basically look like, then draw an image of your child for me and upload that photo into the remote reproduction assignment and get some credit for the lab that you've just participated in. Okay, so for right now, it seems like we've really bit off a lot of stuff in relationship to genetics, and so I really want us all to have an idea about our little babies before we go on to the next part, which is really trying to figure out what were the chances that your baby was going to have purple humps, or that your baby was going to have this marshmallow, 3 marshmallow body kind of shape. So we need to get there first before we can move on to actually trying to do the statistics part, which is really easy. That's those Punnett squares that that you learned in high school. So keep in mind, again, the sticky part in relationship to this genetics is just understanding independent assortment and crossing over. And really, for the most part, what you really want to remember about those two processes is that they create variation inside the population. And what we're trying to see here is that variation. So you can always go back and make yourself another gamete. You know, you can go back and start flipping the coins again and figure out another gamete and, you know, have a second child, have a third child, have a fourth child. and look at the physical features, and what you'll see is that your children don't look identical to each other. And so this really what you're modeling is independent assortment. These things, you know, which gamete's getting which one of those chromosomes, how are they lining up? And so that's a really good way to understand how it increases the variation in a population. And then remember, variation in a population is the key to the success of the species. And really, it's all about the species being successful, not an individual being successful. All right, so it seems like we've bit off a lot. I put in the module a coloring sheet. It's really just for your own, you know, just additional kind of fun work, and just keep making sure you're understanding what's going on. There's an instruction sheet for it, so it tells you what to color. That's really for your own, just your own entertainment. But I suggest you take a look at that, and if you can print it and do it, you know, it all just helps it all sort of sink in and make sense. So I look forward to talking to you over Zoom and seeing how things are going with this stuff. This seems like enough for one day for us to do. So I will see you in our Zoom sessions, and continue to stay COVID-free and continue to stay healthy. All right? Talk to you later.